We're going to start on our backs in Supta Baddha Konasana. So you'll just bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Let the knees open wide. And if you have pillows or blocks that you want to slide under the knees for support, you can. And if you feel any tension in the low back, you can just move the heels a little bit further away from the pelvis. So go ahead and just let your palms rest face up by your sides. Let the eyelids close. I'm just gonna mute. Forgot to do that. Great. So I muted you, but if you have any questions or anything, if you can't hear me, just let me know. You can unmute yourself. And so you'll let the eyelids close, let the gaze turn inwards. Just let the belly soften in towards the spine, sort of like a pool softening. Let the jaw release and the cheekbones start to hollow out. Even letting the teeth separate and the tongue fall towards the bottom teeth. And then just start to observe your breath. First, just noticing the natural rhythm of the breath coming in and out of the body. Noticing if it feels shallow or you're maybe taking deeper breaths this evening with more ease. And the more you start to cultivate an awareness of the breath, see if you can start to find an even length to both the inhale and the exhale. So as you start to take a deeper inhale, take a bigger exhale, emptying out completely. Just starting to find some equanimity, some balance, starting with the breath. See if you can let all the muscles of the body just be soft here. And if the mind starts to wander without judgment, just bring yourself back to the breath, observing the inhale and the exhale. Noticing how the breath fills the entire upper body, throat, chest, ribs, and belly. And emptying everything out, letting any residual tension in the body start to dissolve here. And for this first part of practice, if you'd like to take Ujjayi Pranayama, sealing the lips, finding that inhale, exhale through the nose with a slight constriction in the back of the throat, you can find Ujjayi Pranayama. It's an audible breath. And I like to think it feels sort of like you're trying to fog up a pair of sunglasses as you breathe out the nose. But as you continue to breathe, bring your right hand over the heart and the left hand over the right. And if you'd like to set an intention for your practice this evening or maybe afternoon if you're on the West Coast, See if you can ground yourself in an intention here, something that you hold close to the heart space for you in this moment, in this hour. Whether it's something that you're looking to take away from this practice or something that you're looking to offer. Let it just be something that's truly authentic to you. And take a deep breath in to seal in your intentions. Open mouth, exhale. And gently blink the eyes open, start to let some light in. And you're just gonna bring the hands underneath the legs and draw the knees up. Plant the feet on the mat. And then you're gonna keep your left foot planted down and you're gonna reach for the outside edge of the right foot, ankle or hamstring just below the knee, finding a half happy baby with the left knee bent. And start to draw the right knee down towards the right armpit, framing that right rib. And if you wanna have your left hand on the left hip, grounding the hip down, you can. So as you take your next breath in, see if you can breathe all the way down into that right hip. With every exhale, just let gravity and the strength of your right bicep maybe gently nudge the right knee and thigh closer towards the earth. And one more deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, release the foot, cross right ankle over the left knee. And then reach through, grab for the left hamstring or shin and find a reclined pigeon. Keep both feet flexed to protect the knee, shortening the muscle, pulling on the knee joint. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, see if you can soften the shoulders down the back as you draw the left knee in towards the heart. Another round of breath. Inhale here. Big exhale. Good. On your next inhale, you're gonna bring the left knee perpendicular to the hips, and then you're just gonna keep this figure four reclined pigeon shape. Cactus the arms overhead and let the hips drop to the left. So you're stamping that right foot down towards the mat, knee towards the sky. And if this bothers your knee at all, you can just stack the knees and take a gentle supine twist. And feel free to close your eyes if you just want to gaze inwards, tapping into those other layers of proprioception beyond just the visual sense. Deep breath in. Big exhale. And one more round here. Inhale, fill up. And exhale, empty out. Good. Inhale, come back through center. And then gently set the right foot down on the mat next to the left. And then you're gonna reach the left foot up towards the sky and reach for the outer edge of the left foot, ankle or hamstring just below the knee with the left hand finding Ardha Ananda Balasana, half happy baby. Again, if you wanna have your right hand on your right hip to just ground down, you can. Take a deep breath into that left hip flexor this time. As you exhale, gently draw the top of the left thigh down towards the mat besides the ribs. Another breath in here, deep breath in. And exhale, empty out the lungs. And when you're ready, gently cross left ankle over the right knee and then reach through for the right hamstring or shin and gently draw the top of the thigh towards the body. It's a reclined pigeon. Again, flex the feet so that you're protecting the knee, shortening that muscle that pulls on the knee joint. Deep breath in. And exhale, soften the shoulders down the back. Another deep inhale breath. And big exhale. Cactus the arms. Bring that right knee to stack over the hips. And then you're just going to keep this shape and drop the legs over to the right this time, working the sole of the foot down towards the mat, the left foot, that is. And if this feels uncomfortable or funny in the knees or the hips, you can just go ahead and stack the knees, finding that simple supine twist. Take a deep breath in. Big exhale, letting it go. Another round of breath. Inhale here. Exhale, empty out. And then inhale, gently come back through center. And then set the left foot down next to the right. And then hug both knees into the chest, feeling some compression through the hip flexors. Deep breath in. Big exhale. And then begin rocking the length of your spine 2 or 3 times. If you want to roll over to one side, that's an option as well. We're all going to arrive in a tabletop. So if you're rocking, just cross the ankles at the top. And then come forward, shoulders over wrists, hips over the knees. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Good. Moving into our cat-cows. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift through the heart cow pose. And then exhale, start to round and curl through the spine, lengthening the tailbone down towards the heels, cat. Good. Inhale, cow pose, collarbones broaden, gaze lift. And exhale, cat pose, navel zips up and in towards the spine. And one more round. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. And then find a neutral spine. Press weight into the left hand. Inhale, right arm high to the sky. And as you exhale, thread the needle, bringing right ear down towards the mat. And you'll bring your left fingertips out to the left, or maybe walk the left hand forward in space, breathing between the shoulder blades. And if you want to take a bind, moving the twist into that middle thoracic spine, you can reach the left hand back for the right hip crease. Take a deep breath in, rolling the heart open. And big exhale. Another round. Inhale. And exhale, let it go. Gently release the left hand down, plant the palm. Inhale, right arm high. And exhale, plant the palm, tabletop. Okay, switching sides. Inhale, left arm high to the sky. Peel the chest open. And exhale, thread the needle, left ear to the mat. And you can walk the fingertips out to the side. Maybe reach the arm forward and breathing space between the shoulders. Or if you'd like, you can wrap the right hand around, grabbing for that left hip crease, finding a little twist through the thoracic spine. A deep breath in. Big exhale. Another round. Inhale here. And exhale, empty out. Gently release right hand down underneath the shoulder. Inhale, left arm high to the sky. And exhale, plant the palm. And from here, walk the hands about a palm print forward in space. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And so first down dog of class, if you want to pedal out the feet, bending right knee, then left you can. or finding any other organic movement that suits you, even if that's just finding stillness. And when you do eventually find your way to down dog, bend the knees, lift the hips a little bit higher in space. Lengthen out through the side bodies, and then start to draw the heels down and back, disappearing behind the toes, drawing the backs of the calves down away from the backs of the knees. Good, and then start to flex your toes up towards your shins to feel the shins contracting. The thighs will contract up, lifting the femur bone, that thigh bone, in towards the hip sockets. Good, ground down through all 10 knuckles, hug the upper outer arm bones up and in. Deep breath in. Big exhale. Another round. Inhale here. And exhale, let it go. And on your next inhale, roll forward, find a high plank position, shoulders over wrists, heels over toes, contract through the fronts of the thighs, and then bend the knees, lift the hips back, downward facing dog. Moving with the breath. Inhale, roll forward, high plank. Exhale, bend the knees, lift the hips up and back, down dog. And one more, inhale, roll forward. Exhale, bend the knees, lift the hips up and back. Good. Inhale, this time roll forward to your plank. Good. Think about lengthening the tailbone down towards the heels. Deep breath in. As you exhale, slowly lower all the way down, maybe scraping the sides of the ribs with the elbows as you lower. Good. Untuck the toes, tops of feet on the mat. Inhale, Bhujangasana, baby cobra. Peel the chest up, draw the shoulders back. Good. Lengthen from the crown of the head out through the heels. Deep breath in. Exhale, forehead releases down to the mat. Good. As you tuck the toes, firm the thighs, lift the knees off the mat. Then slightly tuck the tailbone, lift the belly button off the mat. And then inhale, try to lift everything up at once, high plank. You can modify the tabletop. Exhale, down dog. A deep breath in. Big exhale. Good. One more inhale. And exhale, let it go. And next inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. As you exhale, tiptoe the feet to the top of the mat. And arrive with your feet hips width distance apart. Soft bend in the knees so you feel a release in the low back and lumbar spine. Grab opposite elbows for ragdoll. Good. Let the chin relax. Let the crown of the head be heavy towards the earth. If you want to find a little sway side to side, you can. I like to sometimes even wiggle my jaw side to side. So just releasing all of the muscles through the face, the neck, and breathing all the way up into the hips. And eventually find even weight in the feet. Release the fingertips back down. Soft bend in the knees as you inhale, start to round up, stacking one vertebra on top of the next. Good. The crown of the head's going to be the last to arrive here. You're going to inhale, roll the shoulders up and back as you exhale. Palms face forward. Inhale, arms reach overhead, Urdhva Hastasana, high prayer. As you exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Good. And then grab opposite elbows once again. We'll take sundials. So what you're going to do is you're going to inhale, start to draw a circle up towards the right. And then as you reach the top, start to exhale back down to the left. Good. Two more in this direction. Inhale. Exhale. Good, last one, inhale. And exhale to the left. And then we'll switch directions. So inhale carries us up to the left. And exhale over to the right. Good, inhale left. And exhale over to the right. One more, inhale lifts us up. And exhale carries us back down. And release the fingertips down. Inhale, find a halfway lift. And as you exhale, step back to a high plank position. Deep breath in. And then exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Inhale, one breath, Bhujangasana, baby cobra. And exhale, forehead releases. Good. Tuck the toes from the thighs as you inhale, high plank or tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Deep breath in. Big exhale. Two more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Last one here. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. And next, inhale, float the right leg high, bend the knee, roll the hip open in your three-legged dog. Try to keep the shoulders squared down and start to open up from the left inner groin. A deep breath in. As you exhale, re-square the hip, step through, find a runner's lunge. Good. Reach the crown of the head away from the back heel. Deep breath in. Good. As you exhale, you're going to plant the left palm down on a block or fingertips on the mat. And inhale, right arm high towards the sky. Good. So you're finding a twist here. Think about nudging that right hip back in space and lifting up so left hip is level with the right. Good. And try not to let the left shoulder sink into the ear. So really press through that left hand. Deep breath in. And then exhale, plant right hand down, step left foot forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Good. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana, high prayer. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, step the right leg back, runner's lunge. Okay, this time plant the right hand down. Inhale, left arm high to the sky, find your twist. Again, think about lifting that right hip up to be level with the left and pull back through that left hip flexor. Deep breath in. As you exhale, plant the left hand down, step back. This time option for Chaturanga Dandasana. So you'll shift forward, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Big exhale, let it go. Another round of breath. Inhale, fill up. And exhale, empty out. And next, inhale, float the left leg high. Bend the knee, roll the hip open in your three-legged dog. Good. So again, try to keep the elbow straight, shoulders square, and let that right groin nudge the left hip open. A deep breath in. As you exhale, re-square the hips, step the foot through, runner's lunge. Good. Right away, inhale, left arm high to the sky. Find your low lunge twist. Good. You'll plant the right hand down this time. Roll to the outer edge of the right foot. And then step the left foot on top of the right for side plank, Vashisthasana. You can always lower your right knee down if you want to take modified side plank. Good. Try to keep the hips stacked on top of each other. Keep pressing through that right hand. Shoulders stack over the wrists. Maybe the gaze lifts. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, plant the left hand, step the left foot back through the hands. Good. Step right foot to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana, high prayer. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then this time, exhale, step left foot back. Right away, inhale, right arm high to the sky. And then you'll roll to the outer edge of the left foot. Stack right foot on top of left, side plank. But so again, you can always modify by lowering the left knee. Try to keep the hips stacked, left shoulder over the wrist. And maybe bring the gaze up towards the right hand. One more deep breath in. This time as you exhale, you'll plant right hand down, optional chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, knees lift off the mat. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good, take a deep breath in. Big exhale. Another round, inhale, fill up. And exhale, empty out. Good, final round of breath here, inhale. And exhale. The next inhale, float the right leg high to the sky. As you exhale, knee to nose, round forward. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step the foot all the way through the hands, runner's lunge. Good. Start to peel the chest off of the right thigh. Inhale, lift shoulders to stack over the hips. So high crescent lunge. You want to make sure the ball of the back foot isn't falling behind, or the heel isn't falling behind the ball of the foot. So shift some weight forward, front knee over ankle, arms reaching overhead, pinky fingers spiraling in. Good, take a deep breath in. But as you exhale, you're gonna airplane the arms back, reach the chest forward, hug that right hip crease back in space. Good, inhale, come back, high crescent lunge, arms reach overhead. Exhale, airplane the arms, find that angled lunge. Good, inhale, high crescent lunge, one more time. And exhale, airplane the arms, gaze forward, maybe even lift up into airplane. Maybe keeping a little bend in that standing leg. Think about rolling the left hip down. If airplane arms are too much, you can have hands on blocks or interlace your hands and press them into the right thigh, finding some stability there. Good, deep breath in. Notice if you've stopped breathing. See if you can relax those standing toes. Good, one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, rebend that right knee. The more you bend it, the easier it is to land back in your high lunge. And then exhale, warrior two. So take a moment if you need to adjust the distance between your feet. Right knee over the front ankle, shoulders stack over the hips. So think about drawing the outer edge of the right knee back, inner edge of the right knee forward, so that action happens in the right thigh. Good. Next, inhale, straighten the front leg. Good. As you exhale, you're going to reach the right arm forward like you're serving a platter. And then tuck the arms to 6 and 12 o'clock, finding Trikonasana, triangle pose. So if you want to have your hand on a block, you can, or you can keep it on the ankle or shin, or maybe even all the way to the mat, but still maintain all of that length through the right side body. Keep tractioning the right heel back in space. You feel that inner thigh working. And then start to feel the ribs barreling open as one. Good, deep breath in. Big exhale. Good, one more inhale here. As you exhale, you're gonna sweep the left arm forward. Parallel the feet and find Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold, and I'm just gonna turn it to face you. Good. Let the crown of the head relax down. Lift the shoulders up away from the ears. Deep breaths in. Big exhales, emptying out. Another round, inhale. Big exhale. Think about having weight even between the heels and the balls of the feet. So really lifting up through the inner arches of the feet. And next inhale, find a halfway lift. And go ahead and walk the hands back towards the right foot. Inhale, step back, high plank. And exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Good. Walk your hands a little bit wider out to the sides, tenting through the fingertips. So imagine you had cupcakes underneath your hands. Bring your big toes to touch. Inhale, start to press into the fingertips, roll the shoulders back, finding a rolling cobra, peeling the chest up. And exhale, release, forehead down. Good. Inhale, roll the chest up, gazing over the right shoulder. And exhale, release down. And then inhale, rolling the chest up, gazing over the left shoulder. And then coming back down. Good. Tuck the toes as you inhale, high plank or tabletop. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Deep breath in. Big exhale. Good. One more round. Inhale, fill up. And exhale, empty out. Good. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. And as you exhale, knee to nose, round forward. Inhale, left leg high. And as you exhale, step the foot all the way through the hands, peeling the gaze forward. You'll continue to peel the chest off of the thigh. Inhale, high crescent lunge. So again, trying to keep that back heel right over the toe, front knee over the ankle. Good. Reach the arms up overhead. Wrap the pinky fingers in towards one another, finding that external wrap through the shoulders, and lift the ribs up higher. Deep breath in. But as you exhale, airplane the arms, hinge the torso forward. Good. Inhale, come back. High crescent lunge, lengthening the tailbone down. And as you exhale, airplane the arms, finding your angled lunge. Good. One more inhale. Exhale, angled lunge. Gaze forward. Option to start shifting weight into that left foot. Finding airplane. So again, you can have a little micro bend in that left knee. Think about rolling the right hip down, reaching through the chest and sternum, drawing the shoulder blades back. And if you want to have hands on blocks or interlace them, pressing into the thigh as a modification, you can. So again, before even finding balance in the body, think about finding that balance in the breath. Inhaling through the nose. And exhaling. Good. One more breath. Inhale. But as you exhale, generously bend that left knee. Gently land the back foot. High crescent lunge. Deep breath in. And exhale, open up Virabhadrasana 2. So warrior 2. Shoulders will stay Stacked over the hips, front knee over ankle. And then think about drawing the outer edge of the left knee back, inner edge of the left knee forward. So you feel that wrapping back action in the thigh. Good, your gaze can come over the horizon of the left fingertips. Take a deep breath in here. Big exhale. Good, inhale, straighten through the front leg. So to draw that left hip back, reach the left arm forward. And then bring your arms to 6 and 12 o'clock, finding triangle pose. So again, if you want to have your hand on a block, you can. Ankle, shin, or mat. Just try to keep all that length in the left side body. Good, deep breath in. Big exhale. Another round, inhale here. And exhale, let it go. Good, one more deep breath in. As you exhale, you'll reach the right arm forward. And start to parallel the feet, coming into Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. So you can have the toes slightly turn inwards or parallel. Just make sure they're not turning out. Right, and then this time, if you want to take a halfway lift and just start to find a little bend in the right knee, then left. Starting to get into the hip joint, you can. Think about keeping the feet flat on the mat, though. So not quite Skandasana. And if you want to bring your forearms down, you can. Just feeling that shifting of weight. And as you bend the knee, making sure that the knee is bending forward in the direction of the toes. And if you just want to find stillness or a different arm variation or even an inversion on this side, feel free to do so. And one more round of breath, filling up completely. And emptying out completely. Good. Inhale, find a halfway lift. And exhale, walk the hands back. Runner's lunge at the top of the mat. Inhale, high plank. As you exhale, optional Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. A deep breath in. Big exhale. Another grounding breath here, maybe reconnecting to your intentions. Big exhale. The last round here, inhale. And exhale, let it go. The next inhale, you're gonna float the right leg high. You're gonna bend the knee, roll the hip open. And then this time, maybe take some circles, opening out to the right. So circles moving away from the body. And then switch directions. Try to keep equal weight in your hands as you do so. We're isolating just in the hip. And then you'll inhale the right leg high to the sky. As you exhale, step the foot through runner's lunge. Lower the back knee down. Inhale, low lunge. Untuck the back toes. Lift the backs of the shoulders up, sternum high. As you exhale, Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. So you're going to shift the hips back, flex through the right foot, and just fold over the leg. So try to keep the hips stacked over that left knee. Maybe inhale, find a halfway lift. And then just start to internally and externally rotate that left foot. So you're just starting to sort of lubricate the hip joint here. You might notice that either the internal or the external rotation feels more natural in your body. That might just be, sometimes swimmers tend to internally rotate more, and they say like dancers have more open hips. It just gives us more information on where to send our breath, where to spend more time. And then find that neutral flex of the foot towards the sky. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold over the leg. Just letting the jaw release, chin melt towards the heart. Good. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Rebend the knee. Sweep the arms up. This time, maybe finding a little back bend through the upper back, lifting the sternum higher, maybe the gaze higher. And then as you exhale, plant the palms. Step back to a tabletop. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Good. Inhale, cow pose. Tuck the toes. And exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. A deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Last time, inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. And then inhale, flip the left leg high to the sky. Bend the knee, roll the hip open. And then this time, start to draw circles away from the body with the knee. Again, lubricating that left hip joint. Try not to let all of the weight shift into that right hand. So equal weight in the hand, still hugging the upper outer arm bones in towards one another. And then switch directions. Really connecting the breath. Good. Eventually, re-extend the legs, square that left hip down. Deep breath in. As you exhale, step the foot between the hands, runner's lunge. Lower the back knee down. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Lift up through the chest and sternum, but keep lengthening the tailbone down towards the back knee. Deep breath in. As you exhale, shift the hips back, Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. So flex the left foot towards your face, and then keeping that halfway lift, just start to find some internal and external rotation starting from the hip joint. So moving the femur bone in and out in the hip socket. You might notice that your body tends to move more naturally towards open hips or closed hips. So just sort of increasing that range. And then find a neutral leg, so knees and toes towards the sky. Inhale, reach the ribs a little bit further forward in space. And exhale, fold over the left thigh. And once you're there, just allow the chin to melt towards the heart. If you need to have hands on blocks or anything here, feel free to grab any props. Just taking deep breaths. Seeing if you can let the heart rate sort of slow down with the breath. And then inhale, find your halfway lift. Rebend that front knee, sweep the arms up. Low lunge, back bend. So think about lifting up out of the hips. Maybe lifting the gaze a little bit further back. Keep tracking that left foot back so the left hamstrings engage. Deep breath in. As you exhale, plant the palms, step back to your tabletop position on all fours. Inhale, cow pose, heart lifts. And exhale, cat pose, round through the spine. And one more inhale. And exhale. And then find a neutral tabletop. You'll either turn the hands to the right and left and just sort of sway side to side. Or if you want, you can turn the fingers to face all the way back towards the knees. And just start by sitting back a little bit, but try not to collapse the shoulders, broaden across the chest and collarbones. Keep the heels of the hands down to start. And then eventually, if you want to extend the stretch into the fingertips, you'll sit back even further, peeling the heels of the hands off the mat, but keeping the fingertips glued down. Deep breaths. And then gently release. If you want to take a counter stretch on the tops of the hands, you can. So we're going to move into our yin restorative portion of class. We're going to start in pigeon pose. So if you have any knee issues and you want to take reclined pigeon on your back like we did at the beginning of class, you can. And you can come into it right away, or if you want to enter from down dog, you'll lift the right leg high and then bring the right knee towards the right wrist, left ankle towards the left wrist, and gently lower it down. Sometimes I like to slide a block underneath my right hip or a pillow. Also, if you have a pillow at home, you can pull it in towards the body and just hug underneath it and fold over the pillow. Other options are having blocks under the forehead, or maybe underneath the armpits and letting the head release down. So find your favorite variation. You don't have to go to your deepest stretch right away. We're gonna be in this for about 3 minutes. So just find whatever is most comfortable for you, and then you can always go deeper later on. Right, so we'll come in, and as we start to enter this part of class where we're finding more conscious stillness, see if you can only make adjustments as intentional movements. So noticing the difference between habitual and mindful, intentional movement. So if something doesn't feel right, making a conscious adjust versus just sort of letting the body move without the mind attached. I'm gonna take the block variation just in case it's hard to hear with my AirPods smushed into a pillow. So once you settle in, see if you can start to just move the mind's eye away from the sounds that surround you and more tuning into the sound of the breath. Maybe feeling the heart beating in the chest. Noticing the journey of the breath in and out of the body. How it takes you deeper into the pose. And just stay committed. The longer we're in this shape, noticing if it takes you deeper into a state of comfort, or maybe gets you a little bit more outside of your comfort zone without attaching to either or, just taking in all this information, descending into the soils of our being with a deeper understanding. It is the true nature of this yin practice. If you ever want to stay or hang out any longer in any of these postures or on one side, feel free to stay as long as you like. If you're ready to gently come out, gently walk the hands back. And you can either switch sides, so swinging that left leg around and the right leg back. Or if you came in from a down dog, maybe stepping back into your down dog shape. Inhaling the left leg high. And exhaling, finding your half pigeon on the other side. And maybe you didn't take reclined pigeon on the other side, but this side requests it. So just listen to that if that's the case. Again, you can pull a pillow in towards the chest and just fold over it, hugging the pillow. You can slide the pillow blanket blocks underneath that left hip to help level out the hips if you're leaning into one side. You can rest a forehead on top of a block or forearms. I like to put blocks underneath my armpits. Feel free to use no props. They're just there if you need that extra support so you can release deeper into the pose. So entering our second side, we'll be here again for about 3 minutes. When we transition, our mind picks up, our heart rate picks up. See if you can jump straight back in to that conscious stillness. Redirecting the mind to match the body. They say that sometimes relaxing and resting can be like second nature for the body. It's our mind that likes to tell stories or get attached to the storyline of our thoughts. And that can be the hardest shift for us in this practice. So whether or not that's you, just be aware And see if you can allow your mind that same rest and inner peace as you are trying to cultivate in the body. You may notice the capacity to take this deeper at a subtle level is all in the breath. The more you send the breath to the backs of the lungs, the more the entire body has to shift to create space. About 5 more deep breaths here. Gently, if you're ready, start to walk. Hands back up. And gently roll off to one side of the hip. We're going to find Baddha Konasana, bound angle. So you'll bring the soles of your feet together to touch. If you feel more comfortable sitting up on a blanket, you can. There's a few things you can do here. You can slide blocks underneath the knees if you want some support, or underneath the forearms or head. If you have a long enough pillow, you can slide it underneath as well. If you want to take Tadasana, you can separate the feet and slide a block between the feet. Give a little bit more width to your bound angle pose. Another thing that you can also do to support the knees if you don't have blocks at home is take a blanket and you'll tuck it underneath the ankles and then let the knees open so they're supported by the blanket underneath. And the closer your heels are to your pelvis, the more you'll feel this from the hips and groin, and the further away from the body, the more release you'll feel in the lower and middle back. So just decide what you need. We'll inhale, sit nice and tall, keep an eye on the time. And then exhale, start to reach forward, just finding your fold, resting your head on a block or a pillow, or just letting the chin fall towards the heart. Settling right back in. Starting to sort of leave the body in a state of self-observation, like you're a fly on the wall, observing you and your thoughts and your reactions, your actions. Not attaching to anything that you witness, just observing and taking in this information. And gently start to walk the hands back up. From here, we're just gonna extend the legs open to the sides for Upavishta Konasana, wide-legged fold. So again, you can grab any props that you have at home. If you have pillows that you can stack for extra support or blocks, you can grab those. Or even sitting up on a pillow if you tend to tilt the tailbone. Just start by sitting tall, bringing the fingertips behind you, lifting up through the chest. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, walk the hands forward in space, keeping the chest lifted to start. Just finding that elongation through the side bodies, the knees and feet rolling up and back. And then as you exhale, eventually coming all the way into your stretch. Again, you don't have to go to your deepest stretch right away. We'll be here for a little bit. So you can always go deeper. One of my favorite things about Yin Yang that I talk about a lot in my Yin Yang classes is that in this duality, like most dualities we experience, having played a part in both sides of the duality allows us to have better reference to the other, so we can reapproach each side, whether it's yin, yang, yoga, day and night, good day versus a bad day in our minds. We can approach each side of that duality with a better sense of understanding and appreciation, having come from experiencing both halves to the whole, each offering us something different and unique. So whether you tend to gravitate to one half of the practice or not, just take in this information, see if you can use it to better understand the other side. Better appreciate what each half of the practice has to offer. Notice how when we start to feel discomfort in the body, sometimes the breath shortens. That's the same way. It mirrors how when we feel uncomfortable outside this practice. So in those moments, see if you can retrain the mind to deepen the breath, calm the nervous system, remapping the way that the parasympathetic nervous system responds to things. And if you're ready to come out, you'll just very gently walk the hands up. And then you'll scoop up under the knees, sort of like shovels, and just draw the knees in. If you want to just roll the knees side to side, releasing the hips for a moment, you can. Sort of windshield wiper, wiping the knees. Good. And then we're gonna come onto our backs. If you do have a block nearby, you can use it in this or a pillow. If not, you don't need it. But if you do, have it out to your left side to start. So we're gonna take a shoulder stretch. And for the shoulder stretch, you're gonna start with your feet flat on the mat, walking your heels in a little bit towards the hips like you were setting up for bridge pose. And then you're going to reach the right arm overhead. And then you're going to capture the right elbow in the left hand, bending the right elbow. From here, you're going to press the soles of the feet down into the mat, seal the low back down, hollowing out the low belly. You're gonna round up like you're taking a crunch, slide the hand down towards the back of the heart between the shoulder blades. So your palm is touching the space between the shoulder blades, and then lower back down. So you're resting on your arms sort of like a pillow. Depending on how tight the rotator cuff and the shoulder is, it might feel more or less intense. One thing that you can do to take a little bit of the tension out is lift the hips and slide your pillow or block underneath the hips as an option. So that's an option. Otherwise, you can keep your hips down on the mat. You can even keep holding on to that right elbow with the left hand if you need a little support. We'll just take 10 to 20 deep breaths here. Feel free to close the eyes. As you breathe, think about expanding the sides of the ribs horizontally out towards the sides of the room. Letting the entire upper body draw in and out, sort of like a jellyfish as it swims. If your tendency is to let the low back arch a bunch, see if you can allow the low back just to soften down. If you need to walk the feet a little further forward, you can. Or even let the knees knock in towards one another. That's another option. About 5 to 10 more breaths. And when you're ready to come out, you just re-crunch up, release the right elbow, and you'll switch sides. So you'll grab the left elbow with the right hand, slide it down between the shoulder blades towards the back of the heart, and then just release the head back down. So again, if you want to lift the hips and slide your block or your pillow underneath the sacrum, you can. Otherwise, you can just keep the hips down. You can even let the knees fall in towards one another if that helps to release the low back. And just find your breath right away. This side might feel more or less open. That's normal. Really becoming that fly on the wall, just observing. Witnessing and non-attaching to the storyline of what you uncover. About 5 to 10 more deep breaths here. And then if you're ready, you'll gently just crunch back up, release the arms. We'll just have a few final things before Shavasana. So we're going to take a supine twist. There's many options you have here. You can take a gentle supine twist, stacking the knees, or placing a pillow between the thighs or a blanket. If you want to extend one leg for Supta Matsyendrasana, you can. Another option is twisted roots, which is just taking your eagle legs right leg over the left, and then popping the hips over to the right, letting the knees fall left. So this one's a little bit deeper. Whatever you decide, see if you can settle in. Let the shoulders melt down towards the earth. And every breath you take, see if you can open up a little more space in the right side body. Letting the right hip bone gently move further away from the right shoulder with every inhale. And everything twists and rinse a little bit more with every exhale. We'll just be in this one for 5 to 10 breaths. And if you're ready, gently come back through center. And you'll take whatever variation you did on the other side, whether it's stacked knees or the pillow between the thighs or Supta Andrasana with one leg extended. You did the twisted roots, so you'll take the eagle legs and then pop the hips to the left and let the knees fall right. Arms can stay in a cactus shape or out to a T. 5 to 10 breaths. Letting every inhale move that left hip point away from the right shoulder. And every exhale twist you a little bit deeper, but without any force or strain. But if you're ready to come out, gently come back through center. We'll just take one final hug of the knees in towards the chest, big hug of gratitude. And then when you're ready, just go ahead and extend the legs out long in front of you. Maybe max width distance apart. If you want to take your hair out, you can. If it's in a ponytail, you can push any props out of your way, or if you want to put blocks under the knees or a pillow to support the low back, you can. Once you've found that resting point that suits you, see if you can just turn off. No need to observe anymore. No need to control the breath. Sometimes it takes a certain level of detachment to find a deeper level of connection. Let this be your time to just exist in your natural state of being, supported by the space around you and the space inside. Final Shavasana. Feel free to stay in Shavasana for as long as you like. If you're ready to enter the rest of your evening, gently start to deepen the breath, deepening your awareness of the muscles, the physical body, wiggling the fingers, the toes, the ankles, the wrists. Maybe rolling the head side to side on the mat. When you're ready, you can just inhale, reach the arms overhead for a full body, sort of like a good morning stretch. As you exhale, draw the knees into the chest and roll over to your favorite side into a fetal position, cradling your head with your bicep. Then Shavasana or corpse pose maybe represent the death of your practice this evening, but fetal position be representative of the rebirth into the rest of everything. Keeping the eyes closed, gently press your way up to a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to heart center, Atman Anjali Mudra. Connecting right and left, the energies of masculine and feminine, Shiva and Shakti. Bowing the chin towards the heart. We'll close class with a breath together. Exhale all the air out of the lungs. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth. Thank you for practicing with me, sharing your time, sharing your energy, sharing your space with mine. Namaste.